All right, so what if I told you guys that you could be getting booked for photo and video shoots with only a few minutes of your time? So the way to make money just got a whole lot easier, especially if you don't have like an established business with a massive portfolio. So let me explain. So let's say you want to get hired. First things first, you have to convince people to hire you. And that leads to the first problem, which is, where do I find these people to hire me? Back when I was a kid, you could just buy a space in a phone book. It cost a couple dollars a month, but you would do that and people would call you. In the early 2000s, it got a little bit harder because of Google. So now you actually needed a website, a web presence, solid SEO. But these days, I find it is so much harder. So not only do you need that, now I'm getting a lot of clients from social media, and that takes months, if not years, to build a following. And then you post this really sick video and it gets absolutely no traction. Then you post something that you thought was not even good enough to post and it ends up getting 100 times the views. And then you spend the rest of the day in some kind of emotional breakdown wondering if you're even good enough, because every time you post, you see some freaking amazing job by someone else racking up thousands and thousands of views, and you wonder if there is even a point to trying. But now there is another option, and we're actually gonna test it out. So you probably heard of Fiverr. I actually used them a few times over the past few years, but Fiverr has added something new. So now they have the ability to become a local photographer and videographer. So our challenge is gonna be to see how this works. I'm gonna create an account. We are gonna get hired for a shoot. We're gonna go out and shoot some insane images, and we're gonna upload those images to Fiverr and see how easy it really is to get paid. And the reason I know this is because I just got hired. Now, 3 days ago, in less than 20 minutes, I created a Fiverr seller account, and with a little help from AI, posted my first gig as an automotive photographer. And Dylan just hired me for some listing photos of his new car, so time to go check it out. Now for this particular job, I'm actually shooting listing photos. So I really want to make sure to capture the entire car inside and out so that the buyer has an idea of what they're getting. But we also want to capture some details and make this car kind of feel more unique and special.
All right, so I don't know about you, but when I first get on the shoot, like the first thing I do is talk myself out of everything. I'm seeing like, I don't like the weather, I don't like the location, a plant, whatever. So usually I like to get more the boring listing photo type stuff out first. So I'm gonna go do that now. That'll be my first go-to. That'll allow me to just kind of work my way around the car, see the angles, see what works, see the lighting. All right, so I've been shooting mostly on the 51.2 right now, which is like my favorite lens right now for details. I'm gonna switch to the wide angle, get some like interior, maybe some more unique shots, and then I'll go back to this lens for like more environmental type shots when we get a little bit more creative, maybe reposition it a bit.
All right, so now we are back in the studio from the shoot. I have all of the images here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my selects. And mostly what I'm looking for is just to make sure that the composition is good. Overall, I like the frame. And then if I do have a couple of photos that really look the same, like this one right here, I'll go ahead and crank it to 100%. We'll see which one is sharper. And I think it's gonna be this one on the left. And so I'll go ahead and star that one. And then we'll kind of move through these and go ahead and just get our favorites of the entire shoot. I also took some interiors. This one looks pretty good right here. Let's see, some of these, this vertical is good. And then also we got a little bit more creative. So again, after those first couple of shots, that's where things are starting to look a little bit better. You're getting the car into position, you're understanding your flow, how the lighting is working. And I think these shots are gonna start looking better. So this one's pretty good. We'll go, let's see, you can see the difference of the ND filter right here, not the ND filter, the circular polarizer. So just look at this front windshield here and how the reflection changes on it. So if you want to darken those windows off and get that reflection of the sky off, circular polarizer is where it's at. We'll go ahead and 4-star that one. So now that we have our selects, let's see, we've got 23 images, I promised 15, so we're in good shape. We have everything that we need for this. Also, let me show you guys this. So this image, we'll reset this right here. I have nothing on this. I'm gonna increase this exposure just a tiny bit and maybe the shadows a touch. I'm not gonna do anything else to this image. Check these out. These are some preset packs that we have going out. I've been working on these for a long time. These are looking really good. I'm like 90% of the way there, maybe even a little bit more, and picking on which ones will be delivered first. If you guys want to be notified when these go live, hit me up in the comments and I'll get you guys a coupon code and we'll make this happen. I'm super stoked on this, but I am actually going to use one of these preset packs for this image. So one word of advice is if you're producing more of these listing style photos, you don't want to go overkill with the look. These are not going on your Instagram. They don't have your look to it. They need to just look good and professional. So we aren't going to be too heavy-handed with the presets here. So that kind of gets me about where I want to be. I might increase the shadows a little bit more. We're going to add some clarity into this. White balance is looking pretty good. Let's just check what the white balance is on the car. I'm just kind of curious. 52, I think it's a little bit cold. I'm going to warm it up just a tad. I'm also going to add a little bit of vibrance. This was a very dreary day, so there was not a lot of color on this day at all, which you can definitely see, but I just need a little bit in there. You can see some of the color things that are happening with this photo, but where the real magic happens is we're going to go into these subject isolations. So I'm going to go ahead and isolate my subject. And what I'll usually do is just give it a pop, sometimes in the shadow, sometimes in the exposure, to just kind of brighten it up a little bit, bring it out. We're going to also add just a tad of clarity just to the car itself. I might hit it up with a little bit of contrast as well. I think that kind of makes it pop just a little bit more. Let's go before and after. It's just that little extra bit that's adding to it. Also going to create a new mask for the background. This is really where most of the action happens. We're going to minimize that background, maybe add a little contrast, bring down some of those highlights. This is where I'll either desaturate or color it, depending on what I want to go. I think for this, I actually want a little bit more color in that background. Again, just because these are going to be listing photos, I don't want them to look too kind of dreary looking. Now, the last mask I'll do is going to be for the sky. We'll create another one. I love this feature. Just select sky, auto select it on there. If there's anything that's kind of missing, we can go in there and touch it up a little bit, but for this, it's going to be absolutely fine. There was really no sky this day, so I'm not going to do too much here. I don't think I can, but I am going to get rid of some of the greenish tint to it. I'm also going to go maybe a little bit more saturation in the sky to bring it something. It needs a lot of help, actually. Let's see, maybe just a tiny bit more blue. And I think that's probably the most I'm going to be able to get out of that sky for this one. But look at before and after. It's looking really good. So once I have kind of this unique setup right here, I'm going to go ahead and just apply this to all of the images, and that kind of gives me a starting point. And then we're going to upload them and see what happens. All right, so now I have all the images exported. We are ready to upload. So it tells me I have 3 days left to work on this if I do want to. I can also extend the delivery date, but I'm going to click deliver now. We'll go ahead and select those files and bring them all in and see how they upload. I can also type in a description if I want to tell my client anything that I want to do. And then as soon as these upload, we'll go ahead and deliver these. So that's it. We've actually just delivered our first project. I didn't know how it was going to go because I've never done it before, but that was easy. I could really see this transforming how you guys get jobs. So especially if you guys don't have a massive portfolio, if maybe you don't have a massive social media following, or maybe you have a slow season in something else. So if you shoot weddings and you need more jobs during the week or during the summer, whatever it is, this could be a great way of just adding some extra photo and video gigs. It works extremely well, no issues at all, and you can get paid without having to worry about any of that back end issue. So I hope this was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and guys, I have some really amazing cameras that are showing up tomorrow. So stay tuned. I have some awesome shoots coming up. Hope you guys are doing amazing. I'll see you soon in a new video.